Everybody, this is Erica here from In the Company of Cards. If you're new, welcome. If you've been here a while, welcome back. This is a channel where I read the system called Lenormand, 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 however you want to pronounce it. I use my deck. Somebody said to me, why do you use the same cards all the time? Because I'm very proud of the fact that I have an actual deck that is all mine. I actually have another deck from a different creator that I'm going to be using for the holiday season. It's just so sweet. I thought I would use it for the holiday season, so you'll see that. But as a rule, the Lenormand deck I am using in my work is my own. If you'd like to see me use other systems, the best way to do that, it would be to go to my Substack where I write, and I write once a week, and I use Lenormand, my cards, and I use the tarot, and I also use an African oracle called the Adinkra. And I have those three oracles sort of have a conversation with each other. So if you want to see me use other decks, that's where you go for that. This channel is exactly what I've said it is. It is Lenormand. It is looking at politics, culture, race, etc. And I use my personal deck. So I hope you're good with that. If you'd like to learn how to, this is my personal deck. It's called Erica's Lenormand of Hope. If you'd like to learn to read the way that I read, this is my book. It's called The Language of Lenormand. You can find it anywhere. Um, the cards you can get through La Panthère Studio. I also have a self-taught course. I mean, like a self-timed course, meaning that I've put up a bunch of videos that walk you through how to read Lenormand. You can find all of that if you click the link that's under each one of my videos. It will let you know how to access all three of those things. So, enough about that. Um, Thank you to those of you who watched and let me know you enjoyed the video that I did Sunday with Lena, Dr. Lena Rodriguez from Tarot Down Under. She and I come together once a month on my channel, and it's great just to have someone with who is a sociologist, a trained sociologist, and comes with an international perspective as she's in Australia. So thank you for your kind words about that video. We love the friendship that we've formed and the partnership that we've created once a month for you all. So thank you for that. Uh, I have about five things I thought I would look at. The month is heating up. September's going to be interesting. October's going to be interesting. I know I said I would come on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then occasionally on the weekend. You may see me a little bit more than that. There might be a Tuesday, Thursday pop up. Don't expect it, but I hope you will be happy when you see it. Okay, so I have about five things. One is a viewer question, and I'll save that for the end. So, the Supreme Court, courtesy of Kavanaugh, Brett Kavanaugh, the beer drinker, has opined on the ICE raids in LA. And he has said that things like race, ethnicity, location, and the language that you're speaking are all can be used as grounds for reasonable suspicion. Um, Judge Sotomayor dissented, but this is just not good. In other words, if you're standing by a Home Depot and you've got a little color to your skin, and if God forbid you're speaking Spanish, that gives law enforcement apparently reasonable suspicion to throw you on the ground and put you under arrest. According to Kavanaugh, uh, I mean, you don't need to be a card reader to know what a poor ruling that is and to know what kind of dire consequences that will lead to. But let's look. Uh, Kavanaugh made this ruling, and I think I'll use the letter for the ruling and see what that will mean for us. Okay. So we're looking for the letter. Kavanaugh has said it is legal to be discriminatory um, towards people who look or sound a certain way. I mean, well, I will say that this is obviously a gift to 47's administration. Here's the gift, the ruling saying, yeah, if they're speaking Spanish, yank them up to the side. If they're standing in front of a Home Depot, you can snatch them. If they have a little color in their skin, go for it. The final two cards are Clover and Child. Uh, so we know that these first two cards, it's a gift to the administration. Uh, Clover and Child, I'm going to draw some clarifiers on. Okay. So the clarifiers for Clover are the book, the lily, and the key. Uh, you know, again, this is lucky for the administration. I think they will quickly put it into effect and just pull people over wholesale because Kavanaugh said that they could. Um, this just makes me think with a ruling like this, who in the world knows, because this is about stuff that we don't know, how we can get to a peaceful resolution. Now, this is this new stupid ruling. I think it is short-sighted. I think it's mean-spirited and immature, I'll just call it. And the people will not like it because we've got the snake, the cross, and the garden. This will cause a lot more problems for a lot more people. I mean, you can be a citizen, have some color to your skin like I do, and speak Spanish like I do. And if I'm in front of the wrong store, they could pull me over, cause me pain, cause me trouble. So, you know, every little thing this administration does just hastens the day when we storm the Bastille. So, what can I say? It is not a good decision. It is short-sighted. And again, this child card, there's something sort of wholesale crude about it, which makes me want to call it an immature um, decision. Oh, if they look a certain way, then that must mean they're up to no good. It's just, it's immature and it will cause problems. But again, in the short term, of course, it's a gift to the administration. Uh, Now, speaking of, let's move to Chicago, shall we? Uh, there was supposed to have been uh, the deployment of the National Guard to Chicago. This National Guard was meant to come from Texas. It was supposed to have happened last week. Then it was supposed to happen over the weekend. It didn't happen. I said that it would be delayed. Apparently, they have named it Operation Midway Blitz, uh, and uh, and it supposedly jumped off today. Apparently, though, word on the street has it that there's just been a few arrests here and there. probably the same number that there would have been on an average day. So I just would like to know what's going to happen with this Operation Midway Blitz. Uh, I think I don't want to take any of the cards out of commission. So I'll use that most generic of cards that we just used as a significator for the previous question. I'll use it as the significator for this question, which is the letter. This time the letter will stand for the written um, declaration of the onset of Operation Midway Blitz. And we will see what things look like for Chicago this week, in the coming days. Okay. Okay, so again, we're looking for the letter. This time it will stand for Operation Midway Blitz. Ridiculous. Ugh, okay. So we have some cards. Before I hold them up and talk about them, I think I'll pull some clarifiers. Well, we have the garden, we have the snake, we have the letter that stands for the operation, the written written permission to pursue this Operation Midway Blitz. We have the ring and we have the heart. Uh, this is the public. The public love the city of Chicago. The Chicago public love their city. I was born there. It's a beautiful city. They love their city. He will have opened a can of worms or a can of snakes, if you like. And I think that the opposition to Midway Blitz will be sustained. I think that the citizens of Chicago will stand committed to opposition to this problem that's being caused for them. Now, here is Operation Blitz, right? This is the paper word for it. Clarifiers are the star, the ship, and Clover. I think it will go ahead. And of course, it's a template, right, for what he wants to do in other states. So it will go ahead. It looks like it will be, um, it'll quickly go ahead. Like something could happen overnight, which is fast. Uh, like there's a sudden onslaught, let's say, of National Guardsmen in the middle of the night, that kind of thing. But people are committed to their city. They love their city. The clarifiers for this card are the house, the tower, and the birds. So, you know, this is the White House, but this is also the home of the citizens of Chicago. This is their home. And the government is infringing, federal government is infringing, this is the card for the federal government, on their home. It will create buzz, talk, and mobilization of the opposition who will stay committed to that opposition. Final card is the heart. So the clarifiers are three people cards, which is interesting. We have the young man, we have the older man, and we have the women. I just feel to me like, again, this speaks to the love that the people have for their city because I can mirror these two cards together, the garden, the people who love the city of Chicago. And I just feel like with this in the middle, this being you know who, I think he is um, beset by all sides. These are the people of Chicago who say, not in my city. And then this is the whole Epstein thing. So 47 is being squeezed. He's being squeezed since he's in the middle there. Okay. So, yeah, I think that we will see more evidence of encroachment into Chicago by ICE, by the National Guards people. So get ready for that. I already saw that last week when I looked at it. It may be a slow start. I saw it was a delayed start, but they're coming and they will face really strong opposition from Chicago and the nation. Okay. The next thing. So we know that the Congressional Oversight Committee has received the birthday book, the Epstein birthday book, um, compiled by Ghislaine on the occasion of Epstein's 50th or 60th, whenever it was, birthday. We see the drawing. We see the words inside the drawing. It's a woman's torso. Anyway, you've seen the drawing, I'm sure. 47 and his ilk, meaning Caroline Leavitt, meaning Little Mike Johnson, and other people in the administration are saying, N47, it's a hoax. That's not his signature. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, uh, you know, in what way and to what degree will the birthday drawing in the birthday book, what will be the consequences of that? What will be the consequences of that? Um, I'll let Spirit pick all the cards. What will be the, no, no, you know what? No, I won't. I would like to know what are the consequences for 47? So I'm going to use the older man, and this time it will stand for 47, but we're looking at this purely in the context of the birthday drawing. What will what will be the ramifications of that for him moving forward? Because it looks like pretty incontrovertible uh, proof of wrongdoing, I'm just going to say, or bad taste at the very least. Okay. Um, all right. So we're looking for 47 in the deck. Okay. Here he is. I'm just going to pull some clarifiers. Okay. Pulled a few more than originally intended, but that's fine. So we have the anchor, we have the lily, we have 47, we have the ship, and we have the bear. So the first thing to say about this is that with these two cards, he really is digging his heels in. He learned at the feet of Roy Cohn. Roy Cohn was not Cohen, I think it was Cohn, Roy Cohn, the, uh, the guy who helped Senator McCarthy during the McCarthy hearings. He became a real mentor for 47 until he got AIDS, at which point 47 cut him loose and he died without them being in touch. But he really taught 47 a certain playbook, how to conduct himself. And one of the rules of Cohn's playbook that he shared with 47 is uh, never admit to anything. Even if it's staring you in the face, deny, 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 deny. So he is digging his heels in, saying, it may look like my signature, but that's not my signature. I don't draw. I don't write poetry. I don't write letters. I don't write whatever he's going to say. He will stay on that hill. He will die on that hill. Because of course, Roy Cohn taught him if you admit to any wrongdoing, well, now you're down the slippery slope. So he will stay that way, hoping that it'll all die down. That's the lily, peace. That if he just denies it, denies it, denies it, if he has his people deny, 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 then it'll just kind of fade away and there'll be peace. Now, of course, that won't happen. Here he is in the center. And so he will move forward, becoming more and more and more vicious, vitriolic, and narcissistic. He'll lash out even more. Anything to distract. Okay. So I drew clarifiers for everything. So the clarifier for the anchor is the mountain, the tree, and the tower. So here he is digging his heels in. What do you mean? Nothing to see here. I didn't do it. I didn't write it. I didn't sign it. That's not me. Okay. Uh, again, trying to block the inevitable, which is the fact that yes, he did do that. He did write that. That was his. But he's just stalling, stalling, stalling as long as he can. This will affect his health. The tree is the card for health in all forms, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical health. This is difficult for him, at the very least emotionally. And it is making him feel alone. The tower is the card for feeling isolated. Sure, he's got his acolytes out there, denying, denying, denying too, but he increasingly is looking like a man on an island alone. Good. Okay, second card is the lily, and the clarifiers are the house, the rider, and the scales. He really thinks that he can make things just sort of die down, disappear, go away, because he is the guy in the White House. And the message is the law is whatever I say it is. If I say something didn't happen, as it is written, so it will be done. It didn't happen. That's what he thinks. Now, here we have him in the middle. Here's women. Here's the public. And then we have the dog. He is defended by his supporters still, by his people in his administration. So this is the center line. So this is right now. He will continue to be supported, even as he is squeezed by this issue, this Epstein issue. Now, moving forward, we have really good cards. We have the stork, the sun, and the key. But I don't feel like these are good cards for him per se. I think moving forward, the situation changes because more and more people see clearly, that's the sun, what the real deal is. The key and the sun, you've heard me say this, are fraternal twins of each other, I think. They're each cards that are that good. So together they are quite dynamic. I think that moving forward, uh, this will not be good for him. It'll be good for us because more and more people will say, I don't know, you know what? It kind of does look like his signature. And why is he so vociferously denying it? Like, why doesn't he just chillax about this because he's guilty. So I think more and more people are going to have the penny drop. The key will turn the tumbler, right, in the lock. And people will say, oh, wait a minute. If he's lying about that, what else is he lying about? I mean, he said the price of eggs was going to go down. That didn't work out. He said we weren't going to pay the tariffs. That's not working out. He said that Social Security wasn't going to be taxed with his big, beautiful bill. Well, that's not happening. Social Security is still being taxed. If he lied about the one thing, whether he did that birthday card, what else is he lying about? More and more people are going to have the penny drop. Here he is. Clarifiers are the star, the whip, and the letter. Things in the future for him get increasingly difficult because we're the Epstein files. People are not going to get off that dime. They want to know where are the Epstein files. And I can mirror this last card with the very first card. The Epstein files are going to sink him in the court of public opinion. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay, two more. One more about 47, which was a viewer question, and then something else that I'm curious about that we will look at again. But I want to give it a cursory look now. Not a cursory look, but a preliminary look. So, but before that, I had a viewer question, and it borders on the gossipy, and I'm not really into using my cards in a gossipy kind of a way. I just think of them as an instrument that's too serious for that. But the question was, and I'll answer it my own way before I look at the cards. The question was, this is from Cindy Poole, who is a viewer and a frequent commentator or commenter on my posts. In my videos, but she wanted to know whether or not 47's children, meaning Don Jr., Eric, and Ivanka, allow their own children, who would be 47's grandchildren, to be alone with him. Now, I'm going to say that does he strike you as the grandfatherly type? I mean, I'm a grandmother now, so I'm just saying. Does he strike you as the grandfatherly type? He seems to be golfing a lot with Kai, who is the daughter of, I think, Don Jr. And Kai is a girl of a certain age. Epstein would have been interested. But the question was, do the children allow the grandchildren to be alone with their grandfather? I mean, I don't think it's anything he's looking to do, but because first of all, he's the president of the United States. Well, what's he supposed to babysit on a Saturday night? Like I don't love the question, but I guess I'm, I'm gonna fine tune the question. Are 47's children, do they have concerns about their dad being alone with their kids? And I'll let Spirit pick all the cards. Do they have concerns? I mean, do the kids even want to be around him? Would you want to be around him if he was your grandfather? But anyway, do the three children have concerns about their children being alone with their grandfather? Again, this is a viewer question. Well, really interesting because the cards answered the question. So we have the stork, we have the cross, we have the birds, 47 shows up in the reading. How considerate. And we have the son. I think that the answer is super clear. I think that all three of his children, Ivanka, Donald Jr., and Eric, feel that it would be better to avoid any problematic thing if the children, the grandchildren, are only with him with other people, because that's what this card is. This is um, a group of people. So as long as he's with them in a group, they think that it's fine for him to be with them because eyes are on him. So they know his proclivities. How could they not? Ivanka, I'm sure, knows his proclivities firsthand, entertainment purposes only and allegedly. But these cards are super clear that they would feel better if their children, his grandchildren, are around him in a group and in the light of day, so there's no opportunity for any kind of anything to go on in a dark space, whether it's a corner or a bedroom or a bathroom. No, everything is out in the light of day where everybody can see it. So yeah, they are not. I mean, I don't think there's any kind of like hard, fast rule that they've said to their children, you can't be with your grandpa unless it's with other people. I just think that they make sure that anytime he's with them, they or other people are around to prevent any kind of anything. Okay. This next question is not related to anything salacious or anything, but it does have to do with the government. And apparently, October 1st is the next occasion when it is conceivable that the government could be shut down. Now, we know that the last time there was that chance, Schumer and everybody made the wrong decision and did not, and they let the bill go through, or they let the government proceed. It was a bad decision, in my opinion. They've heard from a lot of other people too that it was a bad decision, that they should not have folded in that way. They should have made things harder for him by shutting down the government, you know. So, it's still Schumer and everybody there. It's still the same people. Will they see things differently, the Democrats? And will they allow the government to shut down? And so we're talking October 1st, so that's like in about 3 weeks. So I will look at this closer to the time. I'm sure there'll be a lot of conversation about this moving forward, but people are only just starting to talk about it. Will there be a government shutdown? Let's let um, let's let Spirit pick all the cards. Okay. Will there be a government shutdown on the 1st of October? Okay. So we have sun, we have coffin, we have clover, we have the bear, and we have the garden. Um, I'm going to pull some clarifiers. Hold on, I'll let you watch. Now, as you know, I and other readers have seen October as being a really pivotal month for 47's physical decline. So there's that to bear in mind. But, October 1st is, of course, also the 1st of October. So um, we see it happening sometime in October. But I find it interesting that the second card pops up. So we have the sun, and then we have the coffin. We have clover, we have bear, and we have the garden. So there's real clarity among the people at how bad things have actually gotten because of the tariffs and because of the taking over of cities, because of all of the things, right? Including the Epstein stuff. So people are increasingly clear-eyed about who he is and who this administration is and what they want, including the Democrats, the elected Democrats. They are very clear-eyed on what the people do and don't want. Now, what's interesting is that the coffin is mirrored by the fourth card, which is our narcissist 47. Will he fall ill? Will he fall all the way ill by then? I mean, I think speaks to that. And then we have the card in the center. It's Clover, which is making me think that there could be a shutdown, but it will be short-lived. This is a very quick, ephemeral card. But I drew some clarifiers. So we have the sun, and the clarifiers are the lily, the snake, and the ship. So, it's very clear that, you know, he would like the government to continue for him to just be able to do what he wants to do. But it looks like there will be some kind of snafu in him moving things forward. This also, to me, speaks of a shutdown. Second card is that coffin. Clarifiers are the letter, the whip, and the moon. So when I go horizontally, this speaks to his increasing ill health. But when I go vertically, I have to read this card with different cards, right? So it's going to mean something different. Here, I think it means that a shutdown as well of of the budget of the government, the the papers that need to be signed to keep the government moving. There will be a lot of arguments, floor fights about this. Um, and partly because his reputation is in the toilet for any number of reasons. Any number of reasons. I think that people may start to feel more comfortable with bucking him with a B, bucking him and what he wants. Okay, we have this Clover card, and I said that I thought if there were a shutdown, it would be short-lived. We will look at this again in a couple of weeks. The clarifiers for this are the crossroads, the birds, and then the star. So this makes me think, there could be a short-term shutdown. Again, this could be the Democrats choosing to go a different way than the way they went before, because the way they went before was to vote his budget in. I think there will be a different thing chosen. This is people talking, making plans for the future. And it's for a future that will not include him. I think he will become increasingly infirm appearing, and that will set tongues wagging. And they may feel that this is an opportune time to kind of put the skids on his agenda moving forward. Here he is in all his narcissistic self. Uh, again, more confused, more uh, infirm, and here he is. And this is the last clarifier. I think this is good for us. The weaker he seems, the better it is for us. The final card in the line of five is the garden, and that's the people. Clarifiers are the dog, the child, and scales. So, in terms of the people, Americans, let's just say, 47 will find that his friends, people who are in support of him, backing him up 100%, are starting to be fewer and farther between because people are looking at the degree to which he is just a rogue operator. He is not, he thinks he's the law. He is not operating on any level according to the law, notwithstanding the Supreme Court telling him that he is the law. Now, it's going to become increasingly clear that things need to be balanced differently. So I do think there could be a shutdown. I don't think it'll be long, but also watch for how his health deteriorates in October because it will. So October 1st would be the day that the budget would need to be approved. So there will be a lot of chatter leading up to that. Uh, if there's a shutdown, I think there will be. I think Democrats will um, be pressured to not go with the flow and give him what he wants. And there will maybe Republicans who agree that he should not be given what he wants. And he will be less and less in a position to make a case for himself, let's just say, legally as well as in terms of his health, which will increasingly fail. So that's it. I may pop on tomorrow. We'll see. I'm not sure. But you'll see me soon. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Especially thank you for all your comments. I do read all of the comments and am so appreciative of um, their depth, um, their intelligence, and also their kindness. So thank you so much, and I'll see you really soon. Take care.